Hello, Luke. Welcome to IAV Frame by Frame. This is Ron Hoppy, and I've looked at all of your videos. But young man, you're very good. Um, and I wanted to let you know I've been to Manchester many times in the past, mostly in the 90s when I was working for Ebonite as a consultant. Quite enjoyed my trips to the UK. So I'm going to put you in motion. This is the video I have from you, and this is your full speed delivery. So we have it on record. And let's go back and bring you to the start line, and I'm going to run this in slow motion so I can analyze it piece by piece. First of all, you take 5 steps, which you already knew, and you have a very athletic approach. I mean, most two-handed bowlers are pretty good athletes. Couch potatoes don't make it to get on the two-handed game because you really, really have to have athleticism to do it well. So, 5 steps. And obviously, one of the things I'm going to do here is compare you to Jason, and I'm going to put side-by-side videos up so you can see that. I'm prejudiced, but I think he's probably the best two-handed bowler in the world, although Ostu Palermo would have a say in that. So you take this first step. Now this next step is where you start getting body tilt, spine tilt, and boy, that is excellent. I'm going to draw some lines on you to show exactly what I'm talking about. Now every bowler, whether you're a two-handed bowler or you're a one-handed bowler, that's your spine, there's your center of gravity down here. And if you look up here in the right-hand corner, you can see it says 148 degrees off of 180. So that's like 22 degrees, or 32 degrees, my goodness, of tilt. It only takes 20 degrees to get the ball past your leg twice. So more than enough to do that. Quite good. So step number 2, you get out of the way. You're going to bring the ball up past your hip. Step number 3, you stay out of the way. That's quite good. You're going to get out there and you really start getting your back forward and flatter. All of those things. Your elbow and the bowling ball pretty much behind your shoulder until you do that. Now you get it tucked in a little bit here. I don't know if that's going to hurt you, but this motion, I'm going to do this with a line here so you can see what I'm talking about. All two-handers make this motion, and it isn't the motion that's the problem, it's repeating it. Okay, so we got the ball in the center of this line. As it gets up, you can see that it changed. It went from the center and moved about 3-4 inches to the left. You have to do that exactly the same every time because about 1 inch difference in movement back here, either more left or less, will make a 5 boards difference at the pins. So it's something that I work with, whether you're a two-handed bowler or one-handed, it's irrelevant. That possibility of changing directions east and west with an arm swing is always a liability. It has to be repeated every time the same in order to be accurate down here at the break point. So again, this is some really good quality footwork and balance at the foul line. You lose a little bit of your back lean here. You're a little more upright at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our buddy in. Yo, Jason. And let's compare how he looks at that exact moment. I'll get it up here real quick. Hello. Those pictures I took of Belmo just, I think last November, and the World Series of Bowling when he won 3 titles. All right, Jason. Now, him and you are about exactly at the same moment right here at the release. I need to get this here. Get you a little bigger. A little more over. Okay. So you can see the angle of your back right now. See how upright it's? Let me draw a line. Okay. So So I'm going to draw this line from your down your back line right here, and then straight to the ground. I'm going to do the same with Jason. And you can see this is a sharper angle than what you have. So he really does keep his bat very flat, and he keeps his head very steady at the moment of release. Those are important things, regardless of whether or not you are a two-handed or one-handed bowler. But you have a position that is so similar to Jason, it's sort of scary. And when I look at you, I kind of wonder, and I looked at you from the side and the front before I started this analysis. And in all honesty, there are no glaring errors in your physical game. I mean, you don't make any really big mistakes. I would want to watch you bowl a tournament and find out why you don't win, because the answer might lie there in how you think, or your equipment, or how your equipment's drilled, what kind of layouts you're using. I think that could have a real bearing on things, because physically, young man, you're quite gifted. I've got some things that we're going to talk about, but I just wanted to let you know that in advance. I'm going to talk about your fit before I go on to any more here. All right. One of the things I think you should do, and it looks to me like you put your thumb in the ball from the start. I can't really tell because the video quality is just enough off. I can't see it, but it looks like you put your thumb in the ball and go through the approach with your thumb in, and that's perfectly okay. I know several bowlers that actually do that, and it just is another stabilizing effect in the game. It doesn't affect your game at all. The fact is, when I try to demonstrate a two-handed game, that's what I do. I just go ahead and put my thumb in the ball and then use my left hand, and it works pretty good. So let's talk about the fit. If I were going to drill you your fingers, I don't care what you do with your thumb, apparently that works pretty good, just make sure the thumb hole's big enough, is for your middle finger, I want 7, and I want you to use turbo grips, and I want you to put the mesh, the ovals, and I want you to put the mesh forward toward the pads of your finger, so that's what you're feeling as you exit the ball. Okay? And the pitches are this, okay? Middle finger, I want 7/16 left. Now, if you're using the very small inserts, the ones from Turbo Grip, the lady, they use a 7/8 inch hole, and you're using a digital scale, and 400 would be the number left, or approximately, 3/8 to in between 3/8 and 7/16. So we'd go with 7/16 left and 1 inch reverse. And then on your ring finger, it's 7/16 right and 1 inch reverse. So what it does is it lets your fingers clear the ball really cleanly, and so you have more control of the ball at the break point, and it really lets your fingers think about rolling the ball and not grabbing at it. And when I watched your release in slow motion, which I'm doing right here, that is a very nice release. It happens very quickly, and you can see here I've got a lot of frames to look at Jason's release. So there's a very difference between the two cameras that took pictures, but you can see his hand is absolutely no blur grabbing at the ball. So, and he has a tremendous amount of speed, and it all comes from locking his elbow back here just like you do. Now your elbow's bent, and then right at that point right there, you get it locked, and that's exactly where Jason does it. So he's able to do a 21 mile an hour ball speed off his hand. At the moment of release, it's about 21 plus mile an hour. That's how he keeps the ball on line and keeps it in play. So I'm going to go to the next part of this video, which will be a side, looking at you from the side. And I'll bring Jason back up on that one as well.